I think of God as a poet. He writes from the heart with love and emotion, and it all comes raining down on us like free verse. I think he writes with a pencil, 'cause that makes erasing our mistakes so simple. That's what all the very best poets will do. I hear the poet's voice, feel comfort in his joy. There's a poet deep within the heart of God. I think of God as a dreamer. She sits around dreaming up wild new things like time and space, dinosaurs and people. She loses track of the hours. In the stillness we can feel this power of a quiet moment immersed in beauty. I hear the dreamer's voice, feel wonder in her joy. There's a dreamer deep within the heart of God. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la. All things live deep within the heart of God. God is my co-pilot, but this ain't no jet. It's a sweet stunt flyer that loop-de-loops, puts on a real fine show. Sometimes we go barnstorming, wind in my hair, I don't care where we're going. And if I spiral out of control, God takes the wheel. And I can hear this voice, feel freedom in this joy. All things live deep within the heart of God. God lives deep within the heart of me and you. Think of God as a poet. Chris? Sorry, everybody. Chris, it sounds like we lost all our volume. Yeah, can everybody hear okay? It's loud enough. Huh? Softer guitar. You want me to do that, Chris? Okay. All right.
Welcome to Unity North this morning. My name is Rhonda. I am your worship assistant today. Reverend Kathy has the day off technically, but she's still here in the audience with us. So I wanted to let you know that Unity North is part of a world movement. We are not a silo up here in Minnesota. We have a main office outside of Kansas City, Missouri. So there are churches all over the world that are following the Unity brand. So we have a Silent Unity Tower, which is on the grounds, and they have been holding prayer there for over 130 years. So we've been doing this prayer thing for a long time. We have a guest. I will introduce him to you a bit later. So I've introduced myself. We also have Chris Italiano and Brandy back there doing sound. We are so very grateful to have them there. They're waving now to all of our friends on Zoom. They're operating behind the scenes, but trust me, this would not happen without them. All right. So we have an opportunity here to greet one another. We are we are going to need to say hello. So if you would please stay in your seats, but turn around and wave to your neighbors. Don't forget to wave to the camera in the back, to our friends on Zoom. There we go. Do we have anyone here visiting us for the first time in-house? Maybe you could raise your hand so we can acknowledge you. Welcome. Thank you. Can you tell us your first name?
Eric.
Eric, and you're visiting from?
My mother, I'm visiting from Houston.
From Houston. Very good. We're happy to have you with us. Thank you. And I saw another hand in the air. Can you tell us your first name?
I'm Jim, and we're visiting from just across the river in Brooklyn Park, but we're usually Unity, Minneapolis people.
All right. Welcome. Great. And another hand behind you. Tell me your name.
Yeah, my name is Lyle. I'm also a member of Unity Minneapolis, and I live in Spring Lake Park.
Awesome.
Pop up and say hi and visit and hear Greg.
Very good. We're happy to have so many new faces. Happy to have new faces with us this morning. Thank you. Thank you for joining. How about on Zoom? Can we turn cameras on and see if we have anybody new on Zoom? Let's see. It's always a challenge, isn't it? There we go. All right. Very good. Well, we are so happy to have all of you here this morning. We are going to have an opening song, I think.
Okay. Well, my good friend and great Minneapolis songwriter Peter Mayer lives over in Stillwater. Is that the name of the town? Stillwater, yeah. And so this is a song of his that I really, really love, and I've changed it up a little bit so that we can all sing it. On the chorus, you'll hear it. It's only 4 words. It's very, very simple. So when we get to the chorus, please sing along. When I was a boy, each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word. Makes me want to know. Anybody remember the second line? Huh? Yeah. That's my brain just went completely blank. When I was, you know what? You know why? Because I was in the wrong key. When I was a boy each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. Here we go. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Let's try that again. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When holy water was rare at best, barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. There used to be a world half there, heaven's second rate, hand me down. I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Here we go. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Do you believe that? Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. 'Cause everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, heaven second rate, hand me down. I walk it with a reverent air. 'Cause everything is holy now. 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 Come on, like you mean it. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Yeah. Okay, now like you're Baptist. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Come on. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy. Now come on, clap along. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything, everything is holy now. All right, good job. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you, Greg. All right, so we have had an opportunity to greet one another. And so we are now going to take a deep breath. And I have a couple of prayer requests for you. If you missed the announcement last week, we have started to do just a couple of public prayer requests. So you are welcome to follow the link on the website, and I'll say more about that during announcements if you want to have something shared during this time. For today, we want to remember Diane Cook from our community. She has asked us to offer a prayer of gratitude for healing, health, and a strong immune system. So if you would take a breath for Diane. We will hold that vision with her this morning. And also for Candy Tomlinson, right treatment and healing for Candy. So if you would please take a breath, see that for her. All right. And then we will also take just a few minutes here. If there is anything that you personally have, if you would, any prayer requests that you have, bring those to mind, let those bubble to the surface of your heart, and take a minute, take a deep breath. And we will hold that vision with you also. And so it is. We do give thanks for answered prayers. Remaining in that prayerful state, we are going to have the daily word. The word for today, Sunday, May 21st, is protection. As I practice the presence of God, I feel secure. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God, omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence is not only all around me, God is within me. As I take this truth into my heart, I feel calm and secure. The circumstances of the world have no lasting power over me. God is greater and more enduring than anything I may be called to face. I have within me the power to feel God's protecting presence at any time. As I pray, I affirm the strength and power of God are mine to call upon. I can use these divine powers to move beyond that which may scare or intimidate me. In renewed faith and deep security, I move bravely forward. From John 4:4, we read, "The one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world." The word for today is protection. Next, I have a short bio to introduce our guest speaker and musician this morning. Our guest speaker and musician this morning is Greg Tamblyn. The credentials I see here are NCW, which stands for No Credentials Whatsoever. Greg Tamblyn combines a lifetime of interest in consciousness and wellness with an irreverent sense of humor. His songs and stories range from deeply spiritual to outrageously funny, including A Brief History of God and Self-Employment Made Harder by Difficult Boss. Many of Greg's songs have won awards, including a recent Lifetime Achievement Award at the Empower Music Awards, the Grammys of Positive Music. We'll get to hear some of these award-winning songs in his talk and also later in his comedy concert. Greg performs internationally for a wide variety of groups interested in wellness. He has written and recorded 7 CDs plus a book of true stories that open the heart and tickle the funny bone. He is also the creator of the popular joke game Milk Snort. Did I read that right? Okay. This is a game that lets everybody experience the joy of telling really funny jokes. They are all available here today at his table in the narthex. Greg's ongoing mission in life is saving the world from whiny victim love songs, which is also, as it happens, the title of our concert, which is today at 12:30. So, if you would please help me welcome Greg Tamblyn.
Thank you so much. Really fun to be here today. I want to thank Chris and Rhonda and Brandy and everybody for getting me situated. So many people have introduced themselves to me and made me feel welcome. And especially Kathy, I want to thank you for bringing me up here and making it so easy. Kathy's probably told you we've been friends a long time. Kathy was one of the very first ministers that took a leap of faith and let me come inflict myself on her congregation. And I am so grateful. Every time I think of you or see you, I'm so grateful. And we've become good friends. So it's great to be here. I have some thoughts I want to share with you about mystery, about big questions. We might even call them existential questions. We might even call them unanswerable questions. And the attitude that I feel is the most helpful and the healthiest to have when we run into these questions. So just to get started, I like to joke about this NCW degree. The truth is I did escape from college with a real degree, a BS. A BS in geology. That's true. I was confused, wanted to be a rock star. No, I'm fascinated by geology. I'm fascinated by the big picture questions that geology looks at. How old is this universe? How did our solar system come together and form all these planets and our star? How did they come together and form out of these clouds of cosmic dust 4.5 billion years ago? And how is it that all these planets in our solar system, planets and moons, are so different from each other? There's this amazing variety. It's fascinating. Then somehow, 3.5 billion years ago, life came out of inorganic matter. We have no idea how that happened. It's still a huge mystery. And then after 3.5 billion years of evolution, all these trillion, quadrillion evolutionary possibilities, somehow we get to be the dominant species at this little tiny micro moment in geologic time. And how do all these geologic processes that go on every day under our feet, how do they affect our experience of existence? So I'm fascinated by all this. I read about it all the time. I listen to a whole book on the way up here by Neil deGrasse Tyson. But it wasn't long after college that I realized I was even more interested in what I think of as bigger questions, like, why is there something instead of nothing? What is God? If God exists, what is God like? What is consciousness? This amazing ability we have to self-reflect and plan and dream. What is death? And what happens to consciousness after death? What is love? What is free will? What are women really thinking? Big questions. So I thought we could have some fun with some of these today. And if we're going to do that, I think the logical place to start is God, because once you accept the fact that once you kind of get past the mystery of existence, which is generally underappreciated, God is kind of the next big question. If there is a God, well, what is God like? Well, you've noticed people have tried to tell us. Down through the centuries, across the traditions, they've tried to tell us. Whether they knew or not, they thought they knew, and people have tried to tell us. But what's fascinating to me in my life is that I've noticed that my idea of what God is like has changed. 40 years ago, I had a completely different idea of God. Anybody else like that? You've been in Unity for a while, your idea of God has changed. Yeah, which strikes me as amusing because I don't think God's changed much in 40 years. So that felt like a song idea. So my buddy and I wrote this song, my songwriting partner, Richard Helm, we wrote this song called A Brief History of God. Now, you know I'm a science guy, so I like to sneak some science in there when I can. So in the last part of this song, we've put in some physics. I confess I had trouble in college with physics. When I signed up, I thought it said psychics. Wasn't what I expected. So when there's a new theory, a new concept in physics. It's called string theory. You've probably heard that term, string theory. So when we get to the part of the song about strings, you'll know it's physics, right? So this is called A Brief History of God, or G-string theory. In the beginning, there was lots of competition. Goddesses and gods of every disposition, from merciful to mean, from laid back to hyper, and little baby gods that flew around in diapers. Animals, pranksters, destroyers, creators, flute players, lute players, nymphs and satyrs. So many gods, it was hard to keep them sorted. God had multiple personality disorder. Well, keeping track of all these gods was no fun. So finally, some people said, let's cut it down to one. But the one God was angry, always finding fault. There was banishment and floods and pillars of salt. Why? Wait a minute. Why? Was God traumatized at an early age by standing too close to the Big Bang? Was it nature or nurture or Satan's little goblins? God had anger, management problems. And God had other issues that mess with serenity, like this long-term question of sexual identity. The feminine divine or the male autonomous? God was so confused. Am I androgynous? And then on top of that, what was challenging the most was trying to figure out what the heck's the Holy Ghost. God needed time off and checked into a clinic. And poor old God was becoming schizophrenic. While in for treatment, God sent some folks to teach us, like Krishna and Buddha, Mohammed, Jesus. On some things they agree, on other things they don't. And if you choose the wrong one, some say your soul is toast. Now everybody's praying by all these different rules. Muslims 5 times a day, Buddhists quite a few, Hindus, Jews, and Christians whenever there's a need, and Unitarians would rather plant a tree. Well, God's come a long way from that early dysfunction, and now science has brought us to this beautiful junction. The key to the theory is that every single thing is made up entirely of vibrating strings. Well, this is what musicians have known all along. The universe is really one big song. And there you have it, friends. That's the story so far. We're all just musical strings in God's big guitar. Thank you. Thank you. It's a happy thought, isn't it? We're always vibrating. We never stop. So the trick is to stay in tune. Relationships are a lot about staying in tune with each other. You know, a lot of people have told us that God is love. And we like that answer. That feels good. God is love. That's a very comfortable answer. Because really, what feels better than love? Again, as an observer, I'm fascinated by this word love because we use it for so many different things. You know how they say the Eskimos have like 50 words for snow, different kinds of snow? We just have this one word, love, for this huge range of emotional experiences. You know, we have divine love, earthly love, motherly love, brotherly love, unrequited love, unconditional love, fated love, jaded love, devotional love, baby love, puppy love, love of chocolate chip cookies. That's a big one. And then, you know, the big mystery still, in my mind, is romantic love. Romantic love is a huge mystery. I mean, how is it that we have this amazing chemistry and attraction with one person and none with somebody else who's equally desirable or attractive? I just find it fascinating. So let me ask you this. How many of you believe in or have experienced love at first sight? Come on, don't be shy. Okay, about half of us. Well, it's happened to me a lot. Usually goes something like this. A man is riding on a train. He's heading south, it starts to rain. He sings a soft and sad refrain. He thinks he'll never love again. On the other track, a train is heading north through the rain. A woman looks out her window pane. She thinks she'll never love again. The two trains pass, they're moving fast. Faces flicker past, for half a beat. Their two eyes meet, and instantly they both can see that they were meant to be. Yes, it happened just like that. It hit them like a thunderclap. Somehow they had seen the answer to their dreams passing on the other track. So at the next stop he gets off. A love like that must not be lost. He takes the next train heading north. He does not know she's done the same. So they pass again for half a beat. Their two eyes meet, but something's changed. It's not the same. Now they can see they were not meant to be. Well, she knew someday it would have to end. She wonders if they'll still be friends. All the plans he made all begin to fade as she disappears around the bend. He will never be the same. Deep in his heart she will remain. He looks out through the falling rain, thinks he'll never love again. I think he's gonna love again. And again and again and again and again. Maybe you've had a relationship like that. Brief. Linda Berry, the wonderful cartoonist, said, "Love, romantic love, is a exploding cigar we willingly smoke." Yeah, of course we smoke that cigar. You know, I mean, like I said before, what feels better than love? John Bradshaw, remember John Bradshaw? He said that falling in love is, in reality, a high-octane endocrine hormone cocktail. And he's right. He's absolutely 100% right, because what we've learned now is we can measure the hormonal changes that happen when we fall in love. And they're dramatic. They're so dramatic we can measure them and observe them for a while. And what we've learned, scientists have learned, is that these hormonal changes last for a while, but not forever. Typically, the change is from 6 to 18 months. Then, even if the relationship is still going, the hormonal change, the hormones kind of revert to whatever their base level was. So for the relationship to last beyond the hormone cocktail, it has to be based on something else. There has to be something more there, right? Something deeper, something more profound, maybe even something sacred. So I feel like we should at least do what the Greeks did. We should at least have 2 words for love. You know, the Greeks had eros for romantic love and agape for the more divine type of love. That way, if we had those 2 words and we wanted to tell somebody we loved them, but we didn't want there to be any misunderstanding about what was going to happen, you could say, "I agape you." It's all clear, right? Love is a word I use with music. Love music. Can't imagine my life without music. Music to me is like magic. I love music. I love this guitar. Before I loved this guitar, I loved a different guitar. I had this bigger guitar, very beautiful guitar because it was made out of maple, very striking blonde kind of finish that you don't see very often. And I had been with that guitar for a long time, been all over the world with it, very attached to it. We get very attached to our instruments. And as much as I loved that guitar, and I really did love it, I started thinking I wanted a different guitar. I wanted one that fingerpicked a little more easily, sounded a little different, maybe better electronics in it. And the more I thought about it, the more I wanted it. The more I was out in the world playing that old guitar, I wanted a new guitar until it grew into a really, really big desire. I got to get a new guitar. But I wasn't doing anything about it for 2 reasons. One is, I don't like shopping for guitars. It's hard for me to find one I like. I'm very picky. And secondly, most guitar stores are staffed by what we could call young rock musicians. Now, this is not a slam against young rock musicians, because I used to be one. But tell me if in your mind these 2 things go together. Young rock musicians, great customer service. Not always. Not always. So I want this guitar. I'm putting it off. I'm not out there looking for a new guitar. And so fate intervenes in the Honolulu airport in the form of a woman I will affectionately call Attila, the gate agent. Now, I'm sure many of you have met Attila, But this particular day, I don't know what her problem was. I don't know if she was just on a power trip or she had a bad lunch or whatever. But I was walking up to the gate counter in the Honolulu airport with my guitar over my shoulder in a soft case. We call it a gig bag. It goes overhead, real easy, or hangs in the closet. And this is how I fly with my guitar back then. So I'm walking up to the gate counter. I get about 15 feet away, and she looks up and she sees me, and she says in a very loud voice, "That is not going on the plane with you." I thought, what? What's that about? So I kind of did a right turn. I went off to the side, and I thought, well, I wonder what's going on here. And then I thought, you know what? She doesn't realize that I'm a professional musician. She just needs to know that. So I go up, I give her a big smile. I said, hey, you know what? I'm a professional musician. I got an expensive guitar here. I got to go to San Francisco for this concert. And I'm talking, and she just interrupts me. She says, no, I don't think you heard me. That is not going on the plane with you. And walks off. So I thought, okay, this is going to be harder than I thought. So I give it some more thought, and I decide she's worried about the load. So I go back up to her. I give her a big smile. I say, hey, you know what? You're probably worried about the load. How about this? We let everyone else get on. I'll get on last, and we'll see if there's room. Because I knew there'd be room. It was one of those giant planes. And she says, I've already told you twice. That is not going on the plane with you. Now stop bothering me. And she walks off. Well, now I'm worried because the plane is boarding. And I have to get the guitar on the plane. I can't check it in this flimsy little case. So I just resort to begging. I just go up to her and I start pleading. Can you please, can we try? Can we talk to a flight attendant? Could we just see? I mean, what's the harm? Could we just see if there's room? Could we, I'm going on, and finally, she's like a ice cold stone face. She looks at me and she says, you have two choices. You can leave it here or you can check it. It's not going with you. I said, okay. So I gave it to her. I said, could you please ask the baggage guys to put it somewhere safe? Because it could get hurt so easily. Off she goes. So I get on the plane. It turns out I'm in the front row of coach. The what do they call that? Doesn't matter. Bulkhead. I'm in the bulkhead seat. Across from me is the little jump seat where the flight attendant sits for takeoff. So she's sitting there. The plane's taking forever to take off, so we start chatting. I tell her the whole story about Attila. And to her credit, she listens. She doesn't interrupt. And when I finish, she's appalled. She can't believe it. She said, I have to apologize for our airline. This doesn't happen. It should not happen. It should never happen. We try to accommodate musical instruments. We know they're precious. And I don't know why it happened. It's just not right. She said the closets are empty. There's plenty of room on the plane. So please accept my apology for our airline, because this normally doesn't happen. We're not all like this. And she got up to go to work. I felt better. I thought that was the end of it. But she evidently told all the other flight attendants, because when I got up to get off the plane, all 7 of them are lined up there by the door, and I'm walking by, and they said, hey, wait, here's your guitar. They brought it up for you. I said, wow, how nice is that? And then I thought, well, wait a minute, let's look at it. And I unzipped the case and opened it up, and it's just shattered. It's in splinters. It's like the baggage guys thought they were Pete Townsend at the end of a Who concert, wrecking their instruments. Anyway, it was obviously not going to be played again. I felt bad. They felt bad. 3 of them walked me down to baggage service, and they said, here's what happened. This guy got a bad deal. This should not have happened. We will vouch for this. Here's our names, our phone numbers, our employee numbers. We want you to make this right for this man. And then they left because it was midnight and they had to work the next day. So here I am all alone in the bowels of the San Francisco airport with nobody around anywhere at midnight except this girl across the counter who looks about 12. And she looks up at me with a sweet face and she says, I can't help you. I work here, but I'm only 18. I don't have authority to do anything. So if you want to come back in the morning at 9 o'clock, the manager will be here. But I can't help you. I said, okay. And she said, but I need to tell you this. We have a strict company policy. We do not compensate for musical instruments ever. We just don't do it. It's just a policy. So you should know that if you come back. I said, okay. Off I go to spend the night where I'm sleeping. And you know how when you're really angry, how it's hard to go to sleep sometimes. And my feelings for Attila were not something I could share with you outside of group therapy. It's just a lot of bad stuff there. And so I couldn't sleep. And I got up in the morning just exhausted from no sleep, all that anger. I'm driving out to the airport at 9 o'clock and I felt horrible. So I just started praying. I just said, hey, God, you know what? I know this is out of my control and I'm letting go of it. I am determined to let go of it. And all I ask from you is to please help me be calm. Please just help me be calm. That's all I want. Everything else is gone. And it worked. By the time I got to the airport, I was calm. I felt fine. I go in, the manager's there. We sit down. I tell her the whole story. I've got everybody's name and number. And when I'm finished, she just looks at me and shakes her head and she says, wait a minute. She leaves, eventually comes back with another higher manager. And they sit down, these two ladies, and they said, okay, we have a company policy and we don't compensate for musical instruments. I said, I know, I heard that. And they said, well, we think we need to buy you a new guitar. And I said, really? And they said, yeah, find one you like, we'll pay for it. So I got out of there before they could say anything else. And I asked my friends, where do I go to get a guitar? I got to go buy a new guitar. I got a concert tomorrow night. And they said, oh, there's only one place. The best guitar store is in town, Haight-Ashbury Music Center. That's where you got to go. Okay, off I go to Haight-Ashbury. I don't know if any of you have been there to Haight-Ashbury, but I'm from Kansas. And Haight-Ashbury, even today, is still like this little corner of the Twilight Zone. You see the past, the present, and the future all together on the sidewalk. Every possible personal preference that you could think of is right there on the sidewalk. And it's a smorgasbord for the senses. I'm walking around Haight-Ashbury trying to find this guitar store, getting a little high in the process. And finally I find it, and it turns out to be the best guitar store I've ever been in. They have great guitars. They have fabulous salespeople. And for 2 days, they just bring me guitars and let me play them. They don't pressure me, they don't hover, but they know everything I need to know if I have questions. After a day and a half, they brought me this one. And I played, as soon as I picked it up, it felt different. It felt really good, fit my hands, and it was just kind of what I was looking for. So I played it the rest of the day. And then they let me take it out of the store that night and do a concert, try it out. Pretty nice. So that's when I knew this was my new guitar. Well, this guitar was totally paid for by the airline. $600 more expensive than my old guitar. Totally paid for by the airline. It's a way better guitar than my old guitar. And here's the thing. I owe it all to Attila, the gate agent. You never know who's going to turn out to be an angel in your life. They might not look like it at first. But when this happens, and I know it's happened to all of us, we look back and you think, oh, that's why that happened. Or, oh, what an amazing coincidence, a synchronicity, whatever. When this happens, what it does for me is it makes me feel a sense of, a feeling of wonder, of awe, that we must be connected in a way that we can't possibly understand. There must be connections going around that we can't possibly ever mentally understand. And that's a thought, this interconnectedness of everything, that fills me with joy and wonder. It's a thought I love thinking. If the mystics are right, if God is everything, there's a mystic back there. If God is everything, if everything is God, then how could we possibly get our minds around that? If the scientists are right, if everything reduces down to vibrating strings, then we're all in vibration constantly, just vibrating with each other. I mean, what an amazing, happy thought that is. I really feel like sense of wonder is the key word here, because what the best mystics and the best scientists have in common is a sense of wonder at the workings of the universe. And this sense of wonder, I don't know if you've read about this, it's a very important thing for health, to experience awe every day. Einstein said this 100 years ago. If you're not experiencing a sense of awe, wonder at the mystery of the universe, of existence, then you're missing out. He said you should be feeling that every day. I agree. So the best scientists, the best mystics have this in common, this sense of wonder at the workings of the universe. And what the best of those have in common, the ones we remember as our teachers, is a sense of wonder. I mean, a sense of humor, a sense of the ability to take it lightly and have fun with it. You know, Einstein said that once you can accept the universe as something coming from nothing, wearing stripes with plaid is easy. So a sense of wonder and a sense of humor are the two places I have to go every day. And I think they're the best approach to these big questions. Let's have a sense of awe about things we can't understand and try to have fun with them. That's what keeps me sane, sort of sane. Finally, there's a German theologian I like, Karl Rahner, who said something cool. He said there are two kinds of people in the world: people who need certainty and people who seek understanding. Now, I would just propose that it's better to be a seeker of understanding. Because, for this reason, because when you're sure you're right, you're stuck with what you already know. Does that make sense? When you're sure you're right, learning stops. Well, obviously we didn't get to all the mysteries. That's all we have time for, but that's why we have this afternoon at 12:30 to talk about death and consciousness and love, romantic love, different kinds of love, free will, what women are thinking. We can dive into all of that later today, but for now I'd like to go into meditation, take these thoughts into meditation. So what I'd like to do is this beautiful little piece of music by Michael Stillwater. People think I wrote it because I recorded it, but it's not mine, it's his. It's called Heart of the Mother. It's actually a chant, you might know it. We're just going to do the low part. It's actually a 3-part chant. We're just going to do the low part. It's very simple. I don't have it on the screen, whatever screen. I don't have it on the screen because I don't want you to read it. I would like for you to sing it, and it's very simple. It's easy to memorize. I am one. 4 lines are almost the same. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. So mother, love, Father, God, that's the order. And this is how it sings. And if you know it, you can help me right away. Teach it to everybody else. And then we'll get quiet with this and we'll go into a brief meditation. And I have some beautiful words from Rilke, German poet Rilke. So just sit back and relax. Give yourself permission to just be here and feel this however you feel it. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Sing it if you can. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Yeah, just silently. Be patient. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart. And try to love the questions themselves. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you yet, because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. So live the questions now. You must give birth to your images. They are the future waiting to be born. Fear not the strangeness that you feel. The future must enter you long before it happens. And now let's get ready to hum our chant again. Together. Let's sing softly. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Yeah, that's great. Just breathe that in. Just take a nice, big, slow breath. Breathe that in. Let yourself gradually come back to the room. And a wonderful thing happens when we meditate and sing together. We actually sync our brainwaves up in a way that's sort of profound, and they stay synced up for a little while after we stop. So, in this place of mutual alignment, I think it'd be good to stop and do our sharing. So, Rhonda.
Thank you, Greg. Wasn't that awesome?
I'll just say this quickly. I was going to do one more song about having to be right. Anybody have that disease besides me? So we'll save it for this afternoon.
Thank you. All right, we have come to the point in our service when we bless our offering. So, some of you I know like to donate online. Some people have an automatic payment set up on their account. Some people who are in-house like to leave a gift for the basket in the back. So whatever form your offering may take, if you would please say the blessing of the offering with me, and you'll find this on the screen behind me. Together, please. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. And so it is. And I think we have an offering song. Is that true?
So see if you can remember two lines. I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Lately I've been noticing how much I've been blessed with people to love, peace of mind, and happiness. It makes me want to pass along the love I've received as a way of giving thanks for what's been given to me. And I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Let's try it. Ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I'm changing on the outside, finding gray in my hair. But the difference on the inside is that I don't care. I'm losing my desire to be what I'm not. And I have what I want, 'cause I want what I've got a strong heart. I've got a strong love. And I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. So use the gifts that you possess to make the world a brighter place. It would be a sad and silent world if only the best birds sang.
Thanks again, Greg. That was fun. Thank you. All right. We have some announcements this morning. First of all, your prayer chaplain this morning is Susan Marie Lawler. Is Susan on with us? Maybe you could wave. And her phone number is in the chat. So if you have a prayer need or simply wish to have a moment to connect, please give Susan Marie a call. She is happy to pray with you today. Prayer requests to share with Unity North. If you want your prayer request announced at a Sunday service, please click on this link and fill out the form and mark share. If you ask for prayer support and you do not mark share on there, then it won't be announced during Sunday service. So we must receive the request by 5 p.m. on Friday to be announced that Sunday. We're trying something new to see how this works. Family Table Drive-Through is this coming Thursday, May 25th at 5 p.m. Please contact Kathleen Bailey at the phone number and email listed there in order to help pack and serve the meals. And she is also across the hall with our children at the moment, so you can see her face-to-face if you are in-house. Special fund. We are inviting you to donate to our special fund above and beyond your usual giving. Our goal is $10,000 or more by August 31st in order to cover our recent snow plowing expense and replenish our checking account. Please note on your check or when you pay on our website that your gift is for the special fund. A thermometer showing our progress is on the wall in the lobby and also in the social hall. I saw Brandy putting those up this morning, so it will be fun to watch how we're doing on that. Jung and the Unconscious. Wednesdays, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Zoom. That's with Reverend Kathy. Coming up, we have week 2. The class is still open, but in order to register, you do need to contact Brandy. So her email address is listed there on the screen. We still have 3 more weeks of that class, so please join us. It says, join us for this inspirational and educational class as we explore some basics of Jung's work and his teachings about the personal and collective unconscious. The last class will be taught by our virtual prayer chaplain and fabulous organizational development consultant and congregant, Rebecca Thompson. Is Rebecca with us this morning? I don't remember if I saw her or not. Yes. She is. So you can see Rebecca there on the screen. So she will provide Myers-Briggs tests for us to take and will explain this amazing system which has its roots in the work of Carl Jung. So please contact Brandy if you would like to join there. And finally, today we have a comedy concert with Greg Tamblyn. That will be today at 12:30. You can still buy a ticket at the door. We will have a light lunch if you are in-house. I've been smelling Wendy's magic work across the hall all the time we've been here. Yes, thank you, Wendy. So, service ends about 11:30, and we will have a light lunch, and then our concert entitled Saving the World from Whiny Victim Love Songs will happen at 12:30. The cost for that is $20, or it will be $10 if you have a friend who is coming who is new to Unity North. Kids under 13 years old are half price. They may not understand all of the humor, but they will like the music. So you're welcome to purchase tickets online. If you are attending remotely, the Zoom link for that event is on the email that you got for your ticket. And if you've misplaced it, the URL is listed there. We were a little nervous about advertising that because this is a paid event. So there you go, and you can pay for that at the door. And that is all I have for announcements. We made it. So we are going to have our prayer for protection, and then we will have our peace song. So if everyone would please stand. Oh, see, I'm out of order already. We didn't do our affirmation, so we'll start there. If you would please join me for our community affirmation that you see up there on the screen. Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members, and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. And so it is. Amen. Now we're going to do the prayer for protection. There it is. All right. With me, please. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. And we are wings. Let us walk with each other.